She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these conservatives out there that send me these messages have no balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that.
Calm down, Tim. Damn, Tim. Hey, yo, 45 resting BPM. Nope. No. He's at 180. He's maxing out, dude. His heart's about to explode. Oh, no. He's mad as hell. This is, like I said, this is the only time I've seen him do the soy slam. The only other time I've seen him, it was when Russia was giving him $4 million to do that.
Scumbag. She is a degenerate.
You gotta run it back. Ooh!
She is.
He said the C word. Oh my God. This is awesome. Hey, yo. Why is he so mad, bro? What? Dude, this has been something that I've been like kind of tuning into for the past month or so. Ever since Charlie Kirk got shot, okay, and Candace started popping off big time, so much so that he got an entire nation state and its leadership to come out and be like, we didn't execute Charlie Kirk. Please don't say that we did that. And Candace Owens single-handedly destroyed the mainstream narrative about who was responsible for Charlie Kirk's death. Okay? Ever since then, Candace has been on a tear. Okay? She has been popping the off. And every other day where she goes live, there's 100,000 plus people watching. Okay? 100,000 plus people watching live for the 1 hour that she goes live. And she's making a fuck ton. Okay? She is farming those donos. She is farming those ad campaigns. Yeah. There are like $500 super chats coming in. Candace Owens makes millions of dollars from her show, and media says, yeah, sure. I don't know if it's at least $9 million a year by his analysis. I don't know how valid his analysis is, but she is making a ton of money at a time when Tim Pool, Ben Shapiro, and all the old guard, right? All of those guys are hemorrhaging their audiences. They've all lost their audiences. They've lost their audiences to Asmongold. They've lost their audiences to Candace Owens. They've lost their audience to Nick Fuentes. And basically, this is really pissed off Tim Pool, okay? Tim Pool has been losing his mind over this. It's pure petty jealousy, okay? And initially, Tim Pool was like tweeting out vague posts about how I think someone can link it in here if you saw it. Like, he was vague posting about like, oh, if I had no honor, I too could make a lot of money like some of these other people, but we all know I can't do that, blah, 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 all this shit, right? And it was very obvious he was talking about Candace Owens, right? Has he ever attempted to come for you? Oh, that's interesting that you say that. He did, actually. He made a, where is it? He made a YouTube video about how I was actually on a downtrend during the peak of people leaving my community because I was not pro-Israel after October 7. He's made numerous videos on me, throughout the years, but the one that I remember so vividly was when he made that YouTube video being like, oh, Hasan is actually falling apart. He's going to quit his career or whatever. I never said any of those things, right? But basically, that was a funny moment because that never actually happened. And, I think my career is fine as opposed to Tim Pool's career, which is falling apart. In any case, over the last couple of weeks, he started to address Candace Owens directly. He went from claiming, Tim Pool went from claiming that, there are people that we all know that have no loyalty and no ethics, and that's why they're making a lot of money, to just straight up making fun of Candace Owens in his own way. I received information this morning to put the final piece together for me. I now can say with full confidence that I believe Charlie Kirk was betrayed by Candace Owens and some of the very people who claim to be his friend. Yes, I will be naming names and providing evidence for my claims. And I'm making a personal plea to every well-meaning person who donated to this organization to say thank you. You were lied to, and Candace knew. Oh, here's the video. Yeah.
We have this tweet.
Hasan Piker viewership plummets. Hasan breaks down as Gen Z reject leftism. How'd that go? March 28th, 2024. Hasan Piker viewership plummets. Interesting. Interesting coming from Timmy Boy. It's weird. Let's see. What is my monthly viewership right now? Let me take a look real quick. Let me take a look. What's that? Okay, I got a copy strike. Okay, we'll do that later. Jesus Christ. Shut up, YouTube. Where are we at? Channel analytics, 1.7 million, 1.7 million subscribers. Last 28 days, 21 million views in the last 28 days, which is, you know, not great. Not great for the channel. I think last month it was like around 30 plus million. But it happened to be that that happens to be 3 times the size of Tim Pool's channel. Or not 3, sorry, 10 times the size of Tim Pool's channel. What a fall off this has been. What is this? Hold on. Where were we? Where were we? Where were we? Where was I? What was I looking at? I don't want to lose the thing that I was talking about here. Hold on. Let's turn off some of these things. I'm closing out some of my tabs here. You didn't fall off, though. You didn't even get nominated for Anti-Semite of the Year. That's true. And I didn't even get a streamer award. These morons tried saying you were washed with 17K subs at the time, but Twitch Tracker hadn't updated their numbers for the full month, and these idiots ran with it. You ended up having almost 48K subs that month. Wait, when did that happen? I didn't even see that. They said that I had 17,000 subs. That's true. Chatters, the HasanAbi broadcast is sponsored by you, the viewers, for you, the viewers, the Piker Broadcasting Service. We have, our fall off is imminent. It's what Tim is talking about in the video from March 2024. Oh, okay. Please do not look at the top 10 channels from USA by hours watched in 2025. At the number 3 slot, my name might show you. My name might come up on the top 3 slot. Okay? But make no mistake, we have fallen off. Okay? Any day now, my fall off is imminent. And also, another fall off that's imminent is the People's Republic of China. Both myself and the People's Republic of China is going to fall off any day now. Okay? Big time. It is an inevitability. I'm going to tweet. Just wait a little longer. Both are on the brink of failure. I agree. Of course, you can stop me from falling off by subscribing to the Piker Broadcasting Service. You're being sarcastic, right? Yes, I am. That's what I meant when I said I'm at a very Chinese point in my life. Just one more context, puke. Yeah.
Burning everything down.
Back to great.
And she's gloating and smiling
Divide
while she
by
does it.
spiders,
And you know what you
think of the
fucking told
subs.
me? She has no security. She doesn't deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these conservatives out there that send me these messages have no balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these messages. Good for you, Tim. Good for you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't DM me like I did something for you as you cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right now.
Yeah, that was the...
I'm done with these people.
She has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give two No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy, and she doesn't give a shit about her security. Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my property and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who try to live there. How the fuck am I even supposed to sell this property? And you know, it's all lies, it's all hypocrisy, and it is for the purpose of making money. And she does not live the way other people live. And she claims she liked Charlie, she loved Charlie, and she is burning everything down that he built because she is evil. She is evil. And I'll say it again, this conservative movement is fractured, it's fried, whatever it is. Okay? Republicans are on track to lose the midterms. They were actually trending the other direction until Charlie Kirk was murdered.
Yeah.
And this is the point, isn't it? The most effective political assassination in history.
No, I don't think Republicans were on track to win the midterms until Charlie Kirk was assassinated. That's Delulu. The reason as to why the Republicans are crashing and burning, or at least their base is hemorrhaging, has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk's status as being alive or being dead. Nothing at all.
So just to
If anything, shouldn't that have been a galvanizing factor in the base? Shouldn't that have been the moment, the pivotal moment where everyone turned around and went, oh my God, the left is trying to kill us. They're out to get us. They're out to physically do violence to us. Oh, wait, they did try to do that. And you know who f***ed that up for them? Candace Owens, baby. So technically, he ain't wrong when he says Candace Owens ruined our plans. Because Candace Owens straight up admit you're wrong. Tim is correct. After Charlie died, Republicans were too scared to put their necks out. His analysis is correct. Bend the knee, little bro. The only thing he's right about is the fact that Republicans tried to come out and unify around a message that it was actually Chuck Schumer that was out to kill them. Okay? Now, how successful that message would be, given, things that people can visualize and see with the way that Democrats talk about issues, that I guess we're never going to find out how successful that would have been in the absence of Candace Owens coming out and throwing a bomb in the middle of that conversation by immediately shifting every conservative's attention back to Israel by saying this was Israel. But I do think, and this is true, Candace's total insanity over Kirk's death reads more as someone grieving a person than his wife hosting $10,000 per seat dinner parties, weirdly enough. So not surprised his fans have turned to her over Turning Point USA. I said this at the time. Candace Owens, out of all of the conservatives, including Erica Kirk, was the only person that seemed to be genuinely grieving Charlie Kirk's death. Now, do I think she's still a grifter? Absolutely. Okay? I do. Do I think she's really farming this shit? Oh, 100%. But it was very clear to me that she was one of the few people that was like, I need to take some time for myself. This is ridiculous. I can't believe it. And especially with how organized the professional Republican side was in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's assassination, it does feel to me like a lot of people looked at Candace Owens and were like, well, they were really close friends, actually. Erica Kirk moving like prime Grim Repeat right now. Yeah, didn't she just do a CBS town hall, actually? There's also this. More debates between Candace, who blocked me many, many years ago. But I think what happened, she also, where is it? CBS News is doing a town hall with Erica Kirk, no? Which, by the way, Barry Weiss, CBS News, you already know what it is. CBS to host town hall with Erica Kirk to talk about the aftermath of husband's death. Shouts out to Barry Weiss. So that's the reason why these guys are falling apart.
And thanks to the likes of the vile Candace Owens, she has turned Turning Point into the perpetrators of the crime that was against them. I don't get paid.
All the while, the Republican side went so heavy-handed with the Charlie Kirk posture and immediately went into punishment mode. On the one hand, you had Republicans screaming bloody murder, that they have to start assassinating leftist figures. On the other hand, they tried to keep up this narrative that it was actually the left that's responsible for all the violent rhetoric that ended up killing Charlie Kirk. But this heavy-handed nature of the administration coming after the likes of Jimmy Kimmel and firing hundreds of people, which I tweeted about as well, which got a response from one of Charlie Kirk's homies at the time, led to all the Kirkification memes. People obviously are all out of to give. They're all out of to give. It was virtually impossible for Gen Z and Gen Alpha to take this seriously, or take anything seriously, really, when material conditions are falling apart. And on top of that, Charlie Kirk had most notoriously said, some people are going to die in school shootings, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And then he was the one who ended up dying in a school shooting. So obviously, for many Gen Z that have seen their friends get shot at or have to go to school in fear that they might get shot at, clearly this was a moment where they were like, okay, well, I don't care if you don't care, Hold on, I'm trying to find the tweet where I talked about the Kirkification real quick. I'm looking at Here it is, because Andrew Corvitt or whatever responded to it. Yeah, Andrew Colvett. Sorry. I said, this is part of the reason at least 600 Americans lost their jobs for saying stuff about Charlie Kirk, including 50 academics and university administrators. By contrast, 22 academics fired in 2020, 160 total fired for pro-Palestine views, making the Kirk crackdown the most extreme form of cancel culture so far. To which I reply with, this is part of the reason why the We Are Charlie Kirk and Kirkification memes went insanely viral. You can't mandate reverence for a generation that saw their classmates get slaughtered in school shootings. Andrew Colvert responded with, no one mandated pro-Charlie pose. All that was asked was that they didn't cheer the assassination of an innocent, peaceful father and husband. Not a high bar. If someone couldn't meet the minimum, then employers were provided an unobstructed view of their employees' depravity. This is just cancel culture. You can't try to justify it. You did cancel culture. Own it. And now we're living in a world where people are talking about, getting kirked up. Hasan's still rewriting history. What is this? People called you a terrorist because you had a terrorist on your stream and you glorified them on your stream, not because you opposed Israel. Bro, do you watch the Hasan podcast the minute it comes out? Lamafao, you guys have no life. Your existence is truly pathetic. I can't believe they're still running with this. I love the take of the type of person that's like, I'm actually anti-Israel, but you're anti-Israel the wrong way. So instead of criticizing Israel, I'm going to spend all my time talking about a prominent critic of Israel and lying about who he has on as guests. Good luck, big dog. Never mind those idiots on Reddit. They don't know what it's like in your Kirk of the Woods. Yeah. Podcast was a banger. Oh, I know. It was awesome. Even your vaunted hero streamer daddy corrected his podcast co-host to say there's nothing Rashid had done wrong that would put him in that category. It's in the Willie episode he appeared on. Quit with this nonsense. Oh, these are this is the Japanese imperial soldier still fighting, still waging a war 39 years after it ended. Okay, I assume this is a DGG guy. The strategy of criticizing Muslims rather than defending Israel directly is unironically what they're doing to you, lol. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't work. Anyway, let's get back to Timmy's crash out.
Any of these people, I'm not on good terms necessarily with Turning Point USA. They didn't invite me to their stupid event. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. They invited me back after I started criticizing Candace. I'm not going to your event. I'm over all of this. The last thing that I need to deal with is a bunch of cowards in conservative media refusing to stand up to her. Megyn Kelly, come on. I appreciate the kind words, but come on. Such pathetic. And I get people saying, Tim, thank you so much for talking about it. I don't care. I'm not doing a favor for anybody. I'm not doing this to benefit anybody. No. Nobody's paying me. There's no Russia. There's no Israel. There's just me sticking my neck out and then risking dying for what? A bunch of cowards that don't want to stand up to protect themselves?
Wait, when he says there's no Russia, there's no Israel, there was Russia. So I guess he's just crying because the Russian funds have run out. But does that mean that there's also legitimacy to the notion that maybe he's getting paid by Israel too? Because we know when he said there's no Russia, that's a lie. Well, I mean, maybe there's no Russia anymore, but we know for a fact that Russia was paying him. So the fact that he just volunteered this information about Israel leads me to believe that maybe Israel was paying him too. He did, after all, publicly meet with Benjamin Netanyahu. So I guess he was pushing both Z's. True. Pushing Z type 2. Real bummer for Tim, man.
People like Candace Owens.
I couldn't believe that she put you in the thumbnail of her piece today.
I'm done.
The idea that she didn't that you had some benefit or that you benefit somehow. She benefited. I think she's a Fed, and I think she killed Charlie. No one benefited more than her. And now she is, when you look at what's stopping us.
You know what's really funny about this is just pure jealousy. Like, this is no longer commentary about like if you were to do sincere commentary or serious commentary about the impact of Candace Owens, betraying Charlie Kirk, that's one thing. But this literally Tim here is so mad. He's so mad that he can't even hide why he's upset. Like, he's just genuinely upset because Candace Owens is farming Charlie Kirk's death. It's so awesome. And now he's saying Candace Owens he's so upset that he's like calling Candace Owens a Fed and like actually defaming Candace Owens to a degree where like Candace could actually take could actually sue him for defamation. Oh my God. That would be, oh, please do that. Oh, that would be so sick. Oh my God. I wonder what kind of delicious commentary would come out of that if Candace Owens actually sued Tim Pool for defamation for saying that she was responsible for Charlie Kirk's death as a federal agent. Oh, the discovery. Oh my God, please.
From winning in 2026 right now, what the biggest threat and the biggest fear we have is, it is the disarray on the right. It is the fracturing of the coalition of all the different voices that came together and stopped the neoliberal liberal economic order machine that was coming out and telling everybody to chop their dicks off, and that you had to get ejected or get locked in your house. And here we have a coalition resisting and rejecting that.
What part of neoliberalism has to do with transgender stuff? That's confusing to me. The neoliberal machine ordered you to chop your dick off? I guess I must have missed the memo on that one. Yeah, Ronald Reagan, Mr. Advocate of Transgenderism. This is why when Donald Trump says everything's transgender, people immediately understand what he's saying. Because these guys have one frequency, man. They're so lost in the sauce. Unironically, this commentary also devolves into everybody transgender. The f do trans people have to do with this? It's almost as though he's saying, like, hey, remember how much we hated trans people? Remember how good things were back then? Why can't we go back to that? Come on, everybody. Get more hateful now. Please. Things were so good.
Charlie Kirk dies, and he's not perfect. He loved Israel. Some people don't like that, but he certainly did organize a movement that brought people together, that helped get Trump elected, helped Republicans win, and resisted what the Democratic Party had been doing and these psychopath institutions. I don't want to go back to COVID. Does everybody remember what that was like? When you were locked in your home, you had to wear 2 masks, and you couldn't go anywhere unless they stuck you in the arm. And the only resistance we had was these feckless loser Republicans who've got nothing done over the past year. And now Charlie Kirk was murdered. And we say, holy crap, what do we do? How do we keep things together? And Candace, with a smile on her face, and Ian Carroll and all the rest of them say,
Trump was literally president for like most of the shit that he's complaining about.
Did it to themselves. They destroyed themselves. Pull your donations because they work for Israel. Even Nick Fuentes calling it out, saying this is psychotic. So when we lose in the midterms and the Democrats bring back their panels and their subpoenas and they start arresting people like they had already done in the past 4 years, and then we get whatever the equivalent of lockdowns is going to be, and you get President Gavin Newsom, you can mark it all back to this moment when you had evil stand, scream, and cowards refuse to do anything.
Well, with all due respect, always every single president loses in midterms.
You can come and you can burn everything I have to the ground, and I will happily live in a van down by the river. I don't care to be number one. I don't need to be number one. What I care about is what is true and what will help this country and what works. And she is a scumbag, okay? And she's getting worse every day. And she crossed the line. She continually crosses the line every day, insinuating that Turning Point literally killed the guy who made them all rich. And I hear this in the streets, and at a certain point, I'm like, holy shit. We're going to lose the midterms. We're going to lose the midterms. Then we're going to lose in 2028. And it's because she's a piece of shit. Because instead of saying, guys, let's come together and figure out how to work together, she says the stupidest retarded crap. And now everybody's running around divided and broken. For what reason? For literally what reason?
Because they killed Charlie Kirk in broad daylight, and we don't care about your stupid midterms. We just don't care. Like, they really, this is how they view Charlie Kirk. That's what I say. Was anything in his life real? Tim Pool is going off right now because he's like, it's not the time. You guys need to be mules. You know
what's crazy? Charlie was such a Trump dick rider and so invested in that cause that he actually wouldn't want the midterms to be flubbed because of this. This is the perfect legacy for Charlie Kirk and the entire conservative machine, honestly. Hoisted on their own petard.
Voting in the very corrupt people that are lying to your faces right now about what happened to Charlie Kirk. It is not the time, because it is your job to get people into office. This is what I mean when I suggest that nothing in Charlie Kirk's life was real. So he really thinks he's doing something there. And actually what he's doing is proving my point. These people just saw Charlie as a means to an end, okay? As a political horse that they could ride. And so for whatever reason, they got tired riding him. And now they're angry because they also were going to whip the horse, the ghost of Charlie Kirk, and say, we still need you to shore up votes. And it is inconvenient that people who actually cared about Charlie and saw him as a, I don't know, human being, want to know why he was publicly executed in front of us and why we're being lied to about everything. That is why Tim Pool is upset, because midterms, it's going to be my fault, not the fault of the feds for feeding us BS. It's not going to be the fault of Turning Point USA for lying and thinking that they're brighter than us and seemingly not caring about the investigation. It's not going to be the fault of, I don't know, maybe actual politicians like Donald Trump, who's the president of the United States, and look us in the face and said, are we still talking about the Epstein files? No, that's not his fault. The fault is Candace Owens for wanting to figure out who murdered her friend. And don't you guys get it? Like, we're just an algorithm. Why do you care so much about humans? Like, why are you a human? Like, if somebody in your family dies, you need to focus on midterms. Okay? That is the point of a Tim Pool show. It doesn't matter what you are going through at home. I want you guys to hear this, okay? I don't care if you have family members that are dying, family members who have died, if you have children that you care about and you maybe don't want to live in a world that's run by pedophiles. You need to put that all aside and vote for whoever the hell Tim Pool tells you to vote for. I just want to platform that idea. I think obviously there's something wrong with me, and Tim Pool's got it figured out. His soul seems like it's really intact and it's not for sale at all.
As you can see, I'm sitting in Greg Gutfeld's seat. But why, you ask, would this be happening? The answer is I called French intelligence, and something may or may not have happened to Greg.
It's hilarious. Laughing about actual violence is apparently hilarious, so long as it comes through in the context of humor. All is fair in love and laughs. And Greg Gutfeld, after all, is a comedian, so they're not being tribal at all. They're just being funny. Remember, I don't make these rules. I just follow them. And so I'd like to show you another comedian from my tribe. His name is Ace Smart, and he's going to make a funny too. And remember, it's never violent as long as we're telling jokes and it's said in front of a comedian. Take it away, Ace Smart.
No one in the United States should be...
Bro, they're literally woke. They're outwoken each other. She's saying that words are violence because Ben Shapiro made a joke about the conspiracy theories that that Candace Owens was going off on. Oh my God. They're having a woke off. You muted right before the kill shot? Hold on. I'm going to show you.
And it's said in front of a comedian. Take it away, Ace Smart.
No one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problem.
I wonder if I slap the out you, would that be anti-Semitic? Because I don't want to be anti-Semitic. I just want to slap the out you. Shut the up. I'm so sick of you cornball ass trying to stay relevant in front of that podcast equipment. Shut the up. You want us to go to work and grind for the rest of our life while you sit in front of the thing and sound intelligent. Shut the up. I speak for everybody that ever woke up on a Monday morning. Shut the up.
Passionate, hilarious, relatable. It's funny. As long as it's a joke, it's funny.
I mean, if there's anybody that maybe should be aligned, it's the Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes, Candace crew, Dave Smith. But here's what Nick Fuentes had to say. Do you have that?
Why was she at Tucker Carlson's Christmas party in Nashville last night? Why was she at Dollywood on Thanksgiving, the theme park? So, allegedly, the French government and the Israeli intelligence have put a hit out on you. They've paid millions of dollars to kill you, but you're walking around a theme park in your town? You're walking around, for those that don't know, Dollywood.
Dude, we're missing so much. We were missing so much drama. These guys are literally eating each other alive every day. And we're focused on what? Oh my God, the affordability crisis. Oh, is Donald Trump going to bomb Venezuela? Meanwhile, this is why I was like, today I'm going to do a little bit of hogwatch. I'm going to do a little bit of slop watch. Okay? Nope. Boring. Watching watching conservative commentators blow each other's careers up is excellent, dude. No wonder all the slop tubers love doing a million HasanAbi is crashing and burning videos. I'm getting it now. Yeah, it is fun to watch your ideological opposition fight one another with regular frequency. Except the problem is those slop tubers present themselves as like progressives when they're very clearly not. I get why Asmongold does it though, because at least he has the decency to openly admit that he's a right winger. Oh my Lord.
There's a Dollywood, Dollyland. It's like Dolly Parton's Disney World.
I don't even know.
You're walking around Disney World? You're walking around an amusement park in your hometown on the holiday weekend when allegedly everyone's trying to kill you. Then you go to a Christmas party with Tucker Carlson in the same city attended by hundreds of people, and people know you're going to be there with Tucker and all the based people in one room. But you can't go to Turning Point, where everybody knows you're going to be. And if anything happened to you, God forbid, they would immediately blame Turning Point. It doesn't even make any sense.